Always ask Alma. Problems big or small, she has the answers to them all. So drop your questions, have them solved by Alma. You can ask her anything. Trouble, ruin, ask Alma. Evil, do it, ask Alma. Time for viewing, ask Alma.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Ask Alma. This is Courtney. I'm back again, y'all. I'm guest hosting for Miss Alma. She's on vacation doing her summertime thing. And I'm here just chilling with you guys again. We had a blast last week, and I believe that we're going to have an even better time this week. I wanted to start the show by talking about something. I'm going to be really honest. This story that I saw on the actually, it wasn't on the news. It was in my little Google feed. It kind of triggered me a little bit because I have a lot of years in the customer service industry. And so I usually err on the side of the consumer, though, because of that. But this particular story about this flight, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this. It was a flight that was coming from Ghana and going to New York. They kind of had to land in an island off of the coast of Portugal. I think it's called Terceira. And a lot of people were really upset because the people who had to get off of the plane, who were flying, were like, they were stuck in the airport for hours. They didn't have food. And they said that the crew kind of got whisked away to this hotel. And, I read a few different articles to try to see if anybody had a different perspective. But I was just kind of like, well, what were the flight and crew supposed to do? Were they supposed to spend the night in the airport? They didn't give us any information about what we were going to do and all of this kind of thing. And it made me think about, recently I actually started a little part-time job at a very famous hotel chain that I won't name. And I realized that there's a very stark difference in people today than when I first started any kind of customer service job. People have this unrealistic expectation that you can fix things that are completely out of your control. And as I'm reading this story, it was like every article had the same kind of like energy of like they should have done something. And I'm just kind of like, is it just me? Well, what could they do? If I'm a flight attendant, I'm not going to spend the night in the airport with you. Hi, Mom. My mom is there. Miss Sharon is there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on my panel, see if they have an opinion about this. It might be different from mine. Come on in, guys. Hey, Miss D.
I made it. I feel like it was a full moon or something. Hi, Alvin. Hi, Vosh. Hey, Courtney. How's everybody?
Vosh, how you doing? Oh, get it, D. I see you and I. We're paying tribute to Alma today. We wore our Hawaiian look.
Oh yes. If you can't join them,
dress like them.
Right.
So have you guys heard about this story that I'm talking about? It's like it was like I said, it was a flight. It was coming from Ghana. It was going to New York. Supposedly they had some, hi, Miss Sharon, they had some mechanical issues, and so they had to land in Portugal or something. And so these people were just, they were stranded. And of course, there's people taking videos. I didn't watch one of the videos that they posted, but someone said like they asked one of the crew on the plane, like, well, what are we supposed to do? And the person was like, you're lucky we didn't crash. I don't know how customer service friendly that is, but it's the truth. Like, what do you want them to do? And then there's this whole thing of like, when I was reading the article, like I said, they were like, oh, they got whisked away to a hotel. I've worked in hospitality. When the flight and crew stay in a hotel, it's not bells and whistles. They get in the most basic standard room. It's not, you know what I mean? So what do you guys think? Do you think that
when it's all said and done, those people have to still work. They still have to be alert and prepared to save you if for some reason the plane might crash. You don't want your pilot up all night stressing and then having to fly you home from someplace. So I think that just in general, people have gotten relentless about what they think their service should be and not consider that there's some things that are just out of your control. I would be happy that we were on the ground in one piece. I wouldn't, be fussing about that.
I think it's a kind of a case by case basis, about how someone feels they should be taken care of or what type of customer service that they should receive. And in this case, I don't know. I mean, customer service is customer service, and I'm sure that there's something that was taught to the about drastic situations and how to talk to people or how to care for them. Not specifically, but I'm sure there was a general conversation or training about how to do that. So, as a customer, you're going to have high expectations. Not everybody's going to be like, okay, I'll sit back and wait.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's not unreasonable.
Yeah. So that's how I look at that. And Vosh, and did you fly in today? Or how did you?
I did. I don't have an opinion about that. There's a bell curve to the way people are going to respond. There is a bell curve to the way customer service representatives are going to respond after being pushed and going through something traumatic themselves. Yeah. Everybody take a breath, count to 20, and keep it moving.
Right.
Yeah. And as Dee said, be glad you're on the ground and can talk. Okay. Right. Be glad you can talk and say something and not 6 feet under. So,
Right.
Yeah.
But I agree. People have gotten to a point where they believe that the world is supposed to bow at their feet unless they're going to go to Yelp and talk about the service. It's like, you are not living in Downton.
But even the campaigns to ruin your business because I didn't like something you did, then I gave 100 of my friends to go online and say horrible things about your business and stuff, which is insane. I think somebody might have been sharing said the entitlement is crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's my thing, because like I was saying, I've had so many years of being in customer service, whether it's banking, hospitality, retail, whatever. And there's just this big difference between 20 years ago when I first started in that industry and now. It's like if something goes wrong, even if it's not your fault, it's like, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to give me?
Right.
Are you going to compensate me? And it's not enough to say, okay, take this 25% off coupon, or okay, you get a free breakfast. No, I want to stay for free.
I want some blood. See, back in the day, and most of us are old enough to be able to say back in the day, but back in the day.
Who's he talking about, Alvin?
Yes. Back in the day, I mean, folks were way more accommodating. If there was an issue, folks would try to give you a little something. And it was easier because the management, et cetera, wasn't so tight with the strings and watching all the pennies and dimes, and you could get a little hookup. Now it's so difficult to do that. Everything is regulated and dictated about what you cannot do. So,
And this is a true story. I promise you, I just heard this last week. A friend of mine works, he's a bus driver. And somebody drove past his bus and hit his side view mirror. Now, if you drive a bus, you have to stop. You can't do anything. You got to wait till they come and do anything. So nobody knew that on the bus that it got hit. And then when the police came, he went out, he called the police, didn't tell anybody anything. The police came, and then he turned around and told the people, we're sitting here because somebody hit the bus. He said 5 people got up and said, oh my God, my neck hurt. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, that. And, and they had to investigate that. And he said there wasn't even a push. The bus didn't shake or anything. And these people, he said this young guy said that he was going to sue. And nothing happened. That's where people are these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like the other day at this unnamed hotel that I won't name it out, like I said, doing a little part-time work there. There's this big contract negotiation between, I don't know if I can even say the name of the network, a major network, and the kids companies.
So
And
at the Marriott, it was SMEBS?
no,
Okay.
no. It
Okay.
was DVC. Oh, there's this game going on. This guy wants to see the game. People want to see the game, and it's beyond our control. They're just not in a negotiate or in a contract anymore with the cable companies right now, unless something's changed. Okay.
Right.
So this guy's like, well, I want to see the game, and I'm trying to find channels. I'm trying to find an alternative for him. I'm like, sir, I'm trying for you, but I don't know that it's possible. This is our streaming service. We don't have anything else going on. Well, I'm gonna check out then.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, sir. I mean,
Go home or walk down the street and find a
and we
television.
told him, we're like, well, you can
Right.
try a sports bar. We gave him directions to the sports bar and all of this stuff. He's like, but I want to watch it in my room.
Well,
My
if you know
gosh.
anything about football, you know that sometimes they black out games and sometimes they only show regional games. Florida has 3 football teams, so you're probably not going to see a team from the Northeast. My mother was not very happy that she couldn't watch her beloved Eagles, but we worked it out. But
Right.
that's just the beginning of time. That's not new.
But see, that's what I'm saying. And this is something that it's not like every once in a while you'll get somebody that's like, just you can't please them. This
Right.
is like in this generation. When I say generation, I'm not talking about younger people. I'm not talking about a certain color of people. I mean this generation where we have this kind of microwave
This society right now.
right, where you could get everything like this. People don't want to hear, I'm sorry.
I
There's
can't help
nothing I
you.
could do.
Right.
This guy's like, well, are you guys gonna help me hook the antenna up to the TV? And no one is doing that, sir. Nobody's hooking anything up to the TV. You can't watch it. You can stream it on YouTube. Do you have YouTube? I want to see it on the TV. It's just ridiculous. So
here's my advice to them. I think everybody should travel with a Fire Stick. Okay, travel with a Fire Stick. I do it, and I am never out of pocket no matter where I go. I pull my Fire Stick out and I pack it and I go, I promise you. But I have just gotten into that era of technology where I have all Fire Sticks now. And I will not say the company that I'm using because I'm not going to give them no more street cred than I already do. But carry a Fire Stick.
Right?
Carry your Fire Stick with you, and you can be connected to anything you want, any place you want by sticking it in a hotel TV.
Carry your own bliss. That is the
come on now.
Right? Carry your own bliss. Doesn't matter what's going on, what's happening. You tap back into yourself, you find your peace, and you keep it moving.
Right.
Voss just came up with a hashtag. Y'all didn't see
I was
that.
getting ready to ask you, was that the Fire Stick thing? You talking about the bliss? I was like, well, I need to give me one of those.
I saw it.
So when the endorsement comes in, we can already write our own copy.
Okay. Remember who your friends are.
On host Courtney show. No, okay. Carry your bliss. Come on now.
Now let me say hi to some of the people in the chat that's joining us. We got Tracy, Sean.
Hey Tracy.
Sharon, Mom is in there. Hi, Mom.
I didn't see Mom. Hi, Mom.
Yes, she was one of the first people in there.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey,
and what I want to do now, because I forgot last week, Miss D, you need to go ahead and run that disclaimer.
Oh, we ran it?
Yeah, but I didn't say it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
All materials and information presented on this episode of Ask Alma are for general information and entertainment purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not represent the views or opinions of the National Newspaper Publishers Association.
All right.
All righty then.
Okay, Miss Shannon, how are you?
Y'all can believe me.
Y'all can believe me too.
Okay, guys, are we ready for question 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Dear Alma, I recently moved to a new city to pursue a job opportunity. My faith is very important to me, so I found a wonderful church that is close to home and not very far from work. I will admit it's different than what I'm used to, but I'm very happy there. I started going to a small group and I made friends with one of the other women there. We have similar backgrounds and we clicked instantly. We became prayer partners and we tried to sign up to volunteer at church outreaches together. Recently, she invited me out to brunch with her and her daughters. I was delighted to go until I got there. The brunch turned out to be a day party. When I got there, I couldn't believe my eyes. My church sister had completely transformed. She was wearing a very form-fitting see-through jumpsuit. She had extremely long, thick eyelashes on, a colorful lace front wig, and these brightly colored dragon lady nails. They were smoking hookah and taking shots. I was mortified. She is so active in church, not to mention we are both grandmothers. She's too old to be dressed that way, and it's completely inappropriate to be taking shots and twerking with your daughters. I'm at a loss for words on how I should handle this situation. I've really grown to care for my friend, but I take my faith seriously, and I thought she did too. What do you think, Alma? Am I being too judgmental? Should I even continue with this friendship? Please help.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a little recap, run that back. So she recently moved to a new city. She found a church that she really liked. She joined a small group, which is like the new church thing. Small groups back in the day was what, ministries or whatever, auxiliary. Now it's called small group.
Auxiliary.
Right, auxiliary. Now it's called small group. Right. And she found somebody there who she thought was, I guess, her sister in Christ. They're praying together. They're doing the church outreaches, and then she invited her out outside of church, thinking they're going to a nice little quiet brunch, and it turned out to be a day party. She gets there, and her church sister done turned to Meg Thee Stallion. She got the see-through jumpsuit, she got colorful wig on, twerking, taking shots, and she's like, wait a minute, this isn't my sister on Sunday. What's going on? So she's wondering, should she continue the friendship? Is she being too judgmental to think that, I guess, the way that she presented herself in church should be the way she presents herself all the time? What should she do?
The whole time I was listening, I was thinking, judge not. Judge not. Because she's not only has a problem with the way she looks, dresses, and behaves, but she's saying that it's inappropriate. Like, she's not just, eyeing her like, right.
Grandmother, so.
And so we know a whole bunch of grandmothers that, can work it. So that's not. It sounds like she needs to find a new friend that's a little closer aligned with her belief system.
Well, she just met her. So how can she call her a friend? First of all, mistake number one, get to know your audience. You know what I'm saying? And because being a person of faith and going to church, I've seen some transitions, okay? I've seen some transitions going in that door and coming out of that chapel, okay?
She ain't wearing the glitter jumpsuit to church.
But you can't, and some of them do now. But you can't. I think she's judging. I think she's judging a little bit, and she really doesn't know the woman.
She said she met her Saturday sister. Keep her in prayer and find someone that clicks with you. She was free to leave and tell the friend that she'll call her the next day. She should be truthful about how she feels.
Someone said she was catfish.
Yeah. Tracy said where to go. Tracy said.
And Sean said jumpsuit, shots, and hookah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they both misjudged each other.
Right.
So you can't, you got to take people as they come. Right.
Well, I'll say that I have a friend who she's in church, and she's always been in church. Like, she's always been that friend. Now, I will say, because of how she is and how she's always been, there are certain things that I personally would not invite her to, right? But to her credit, if I go to a day, if I have gone to a day party, if I've had my situation, she's never judged me. She's never been like, well, Courtney, I can't be your friend anymore. Now, she'll keep it real with me. She'll be like, I don't think it's right what you're doing, but we kept our friendship on a certain level because of the fact that she is who she is. But also, I'm going back to church. So now, sometimes I'll ask her for prayer and I'll ask her for things. So I guess my point is, just because you see somebody a certain way at a certain time doesn't mean that person stays that
their
way.
exterior speaks nothing of their heart.
Right. So it's kind of like you can't say that just because you went out with her on a Saturday night, and this is my opinion now. And you see her in a jumpsuit and she's twerking and all of that kind of stuff, that you should just stop being her friend. I feel like you should say, look, I don't feel comfortable doing that. The next time you guys are going to the day party, don't invite me. But still, if she's your sister in prayer, still pray with her. If she's
help
help
me
deal with her. Like, I don't see why the friendship should end.
help me understand this. Like, if I just go out during the day and start drinking, it's got a name for it. Like,
yes, child. Yes.
Okay. So if I go to
day
lunch,
drinking, day party.
Oh yeah, that's too much.
Yeah, and depending on the city that she lives in, because I was thinking maybe she lives like in New York or DC or whatever. The brunch/day party is a thing. You know what I mean? Usually the brunch will turn into a day party. They'll have a whole DJ. They might have a theme. Might be, what is it, all white, or you know?
They were just going out. She was just invited out with her daughters, right? So it sounds like they were just going to have lunch maybe, and they had some cocktails, or was it a day party because of the way she was dressed? Like
No, it was a day party because it was a brunch that turned into like the club. It was
Well, then she was invited to go to the brunch. She should not have stayed for the day party.
Right, she
should have left. She should have left.
Yeah.
And also, isn't there a song, if I go out all night on Saturday and you see me on church on Sunday, ain't nobody's
mind your business.
If I do. Right? And that's
why you go out and cabaret all day.
Yeah.
Nobody's business if I do.
If I do, like, there has been songs written about this. This woman is clearly late, clearly stuck up in her feelings.
Some people show up in church in what they had on the night before. I can't judge them for showing up, going straight from one spot to the other. They only have to answer to one. Ain't nobody's business, right, Tracy?
I want to take a moment on this woman who has sent this in. I just want to go a little deeper since she's judging people, because there are churches that don't even want me to come in the door,
right?
Because you're so churchy.
Yes.
So
where is she on the bell curve, right?
Where are you with that? Where are you? Would you not take your? I was going to say something, but that may be judgmental. Yeah. Where is she on the bell curve with that?
Well, I guess
with any space, is she going to be critical of anyone that isn't exactly like her? Because that's what it sounds like.
That's it.
It's like, she liked this woman until she saw her in the jumpsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden her hair's too glittery and her outfit's too loud and her lashes are too long. What she said, she had claw finger. She threw on some fingernails for Saturday lunch. Like so she and maybe she was just disappointed because she felt like that she met the representative, like the friend she thought she was dealing with was somebody else.
Right.
And maybe that was disappointing for her. But again, you just go find somebody else to hang out with that is better aligned with how you feel about life.
Sharon said, Jesus still got a blessing with my name slam on it.
Come on, y'all coming up with some. Oh.
And Sharon, send us pictures of you in the jumpsuit because we want to share. Okay.
I got a backhanded slap in that same area from I did the 86 Congressional Black Caucus, and I had Yolanda Adams in the show, and I went out and pulled clothes for Yolanda Adams to sing during the show. Mm-hmm. And when I got those clothes there, she said, I may be churchy, but I'm not dressing like a church woman.
Hey.
Yolanda Adams told me that. And that, as a stylist, as a producer, I was like, I came in here so pigeonholed, thinking because you in church, you're Yolanda Adams, that I should bring all these dresses that's tied up here. She said, go back and get 4 more.
Yes.
And I promise you that next slew of dresses, it changed how I looked at things because I was judgmental.
Well, you didn't dress her like she was working the pole, but you dressed her in something that was tasteful and
flattering.
And
fashion forward.
Right.
But not ready to walk through the church door. It was performance ready.
And she was not going to the church.
Right.
That is specific attire. And then you have the rest of the rack to pull from when you were going out and twerking with your children.
Right.
I promise y'all.
Lillian says all kinds of people go to church. Unless you go out with all of them, you don't know the weekday, Saturday night person.
Yes. And you should love them because that's who they are.
Right.
Girl. I'm sorry. How we gonna answer her?
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Sean, how y'all doing?
She needs to go find somebody that better fits into her mindset and circle.
I think she needs to jump down and try on a couple jumpsuits and see how she looks
Oh,
in them
wow.
before she makes any big decision.
Come on.
And
Come
Sharon's
on.
gonna go with her.
Okay.
Well, maybe the friend can take her out and get her dressed up a little bit. Hi, Jay. Get her dressed up a little bit.
Yes.
She's the reason why people not going to church.
Where's my fan?
I know, right? I was looking for mine because I got one for the concert. It's in my classroom.
Come on, girl.
I see you, Sharon.
Stop judging. This is about love.
Yeah.
You know, just go home. If you walked in the door and you don't like fish grease and it smelled like fish grease, then turn around and go back home.
I would say get to know people better. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it could also be the thing of her moving to a new city. You don't know anybody. Judging from that, judging from this
And
question,
that's why I said she may have just been disappointed because she thought she had one person and she didn't. But she doesn't have to. Like, she can move on.
Well, expectation kills.
Yes.
I don't really think that she should move on from being her friend. I don't think that. I just think that if you're not comfortable doing what she likes to do, just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You know now, if you go out with her, you're liable to be someplace where there's hookah.
But she had a litany. The reason I say move on is she had a list of things. Like she didn't just like, it wasn't just one small thing that seemed like if she was just loud. When we go out, she's loud. You know, you can work with that. But it sounded like that she had quite a few things that were troubling to her: the drinking, the clothing, the daughters, all of it. So
she said everything except she stank.
Everything, bing.
So that may be enough for her to find someone else that she wants to hang out with.
Yeah.
And she told the woman may not want to be friends with her.
Right.
She may not be. Sharon said everybody got a lane, put her in her lane. And that's kind of what I feel. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to stop being her friend, but if what she does doesn't make you comfortable, doesn't mean
well, their relationship can exist in church. When they are at church together, they can
work friends
and then
in church.
But you know she's gonna go to church and then start talking about this woman.
I hope not.
I hope not too. But I get that vibe.
She asked a question.
I hope not.
The short answer is yes. You're being judgmental.
She's being judgmental.
Yes. You are. Yeah. But you if that's how you want to live, if you don't want to drink and smoke hookah and do shots, there are people who do. What if you go to the day party next time and see your pastor there? You gonna leave the church?
Right. Find the card table and go play some cards.
DJ doing the ones and twos. Right. What you gonna do there? You ain't gonna praise and worship on Sunday.
There are some people who are so churchy. She may leave the church if she saw her pastor there. Because
but you should find the church that suits your spirit. Like every church is not for everybody.
Right.
And she needs to keep shopping until. I mean, she sounds like she likes this church. She's just uncomfortable with that circumstance, so she just needs to not hang out with her on Saturday afternoon.
Right. And be honest and tell her, you know, I'm sorry, I thought I expected something. However, if she's interested in being friends with this woman, she needs to tell her that, you know, her opinion of her is different.
I was uncomfortable.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
Her opinion of her, I think she just talked about, she needs to address how she felt about it. And like, I was uncomfortable with that environment, so you know, I won't be coming anymore. But she doesn't need to tell her what she thinks about her jumpsuit and her eyelashes and her claw fingernails and any of those kinds of things. That's not her place.
I don't think she should say anything about how she felt at the party or anything. It wasn't her cup of tea. She does not need to disturb anybody else's boat ride or party.
Okay.
It is just, you know, no thank you the next time. She's busy and just keep it moving. But to try to disturb someone else's peace and make them feel bad about who they are or how they opened their heart to invite someone into a good time that they were having, I don't think she should say anything at all. She should just keep it moving.
Because we've all been invited to things where we thought, okay, I won't do this again.
Exactly.
And didn't really need to discuss it. Just said, okay, I won't.
I'm not going to do it.
So and so asked me. I think I have something else to do because I'm not comfortable with that.
Exactly. No need to create any bad blood at all.
Okay, I hear you.
Yes.
Thank you, Dee. It's so good to be here with you.
The short answer is you are being too judgmental, and if you go to a different church, there are people in that church too. And there's probably somebody with a see-through jumpsuit on at that church going to day parties. People go to church, so you can't think that you're going to find a place where everybody thinks or is like you. That's just
Right.
not realistic. So, yeah.
Girl.
Lillian said,
Judge
yeah,
not.
ghetto chick, just say don't invite me no more.
Lillian.
Don't bite me no more. I ain't coming.
All right, well, let's move on to question 2.
Okay.
Dear Alma, I'm hoping you can give me some advice. I have some relatives who are doing very well in their careers as well as financially. Fortunately, they are supportive and always willing to help out. During the holidays, they go out of their way to make sure my children have everything they want. I never have to worry about birthdays or back to school because they will make sure the kids have things I may not be able to get. I know I should be grateful, and I am grateful, but I can't help feeling like a loser and somewhat of the black sheep in my family. Whenever we plan family trips or get-togethers, it is an automatic assumption that I won't be able to chip in as much as everyone else. I can't lie, I'm usually not able to chip in like everyone else, but I don't want to feel like a charity case. I work very hard and I try my best, but I'm just always falling short when it comes to my finances. If I say I can't participate in an outing or family event, then everyone makes me feel badly about it and offers to pay. Then I end up taking part and feeling like I'm taking advantage all over again. Maybe I'm reading too much into things, but I can't stand feeling this way. Please help me, Alma.
Okay, so just a quick recap. So she is in a family where I guess most of the family members are doing really well in their careers, are doing well financially. Luckily, they're supportive. You know what I mean? They know that she may not always have the means to do certain things. They help out with the children, and she really doesn't have to worry on that end. However, she's feeling like because she doesn't have the means to do a lot of the things that they could do, probably like family trips, outings, things like that, that she's kind of taking advantage. And she always is feeling like a charity case because it's to the point where they know it's kind of like that family member, you know, they ain't got no money, but you want them to come. So you just kind of say, well, you know, so-and-so don't got no money. Let's just go ahead and chip in. So she's like, although they don't make an issue of it, it's an issue for her. You know, if she says she doesn't want to come, then they make her feel bad for coming. But then she comes and feels guilty because she doesn't have the money to, you know, chip in the way everyone else does. So she's asking us if she's reading too much into it. And should she, you know, what could she do to feel better about the situation?
Instead of right now, I'm gonna get a second job.
See,
I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry. She don't know me. She don't know me. She don't know me. She don't know me. That was just a joke. Well, what else?
Well, Richard says it is a gift. Accept it and move on.
And contribute to the family and family activities in a way that doesn't require as much money, so that she is building into the fabric of the family's experiences without having to spend a lot of money. That should make it easier for her to go on some of these trips where they're paying, because then there's more of a quid pro quo. She just needs to be a little bit more industrious with how she contributes to the family.
And Sharon says, remember how blessed you are to have a family at all. And if they want to help out, let them love on you and your family.
Yeah.
And because the family members that don't want to pay for you are not going to volunteer to pay for you. They're going to say, she ain't coming again because she ain't got no money. So the fact that they all want to participate so she can participate, I think is a loving thing. I get I feel bad about it, but she can just choose not to go. But then she'd probably feel bad about not being there.
And that's one of the things she said. She says, when she says, well, I'm not going to go, they're like, come, you know, I guess they're kind of like, come on, we got you, whatever. They make her feel bad for not going. She goes and then feels bad for going because she didn't have
So is it just the trip she's concerned about? Because she gets all of these other perks from these financially stable people, and she didn't seem to take issue with that.
No,
Christmas and school and all of that.
Well, she's saying that they help her, but because they help her so much with so many different things, she feels
she
like
thinks that the trips are too much.
She thinks everything, like the fact that they're always helping out and she never has money. It's kind of like they know that she's a family member that don't have no money. And so they'll just help her, which is kind of, you know, for me, for this question, I'm kind of feeling like we always have the other side, right? This person owes me money. The guy who bought the baseball tickets and was like, I didn't get my money back. or this person always expects me to pay, or my mom was never there and I got to pay for her. That's the kind of question you get. But I guess this person's on the other side of that. Like, well, I'm the person who doesn't have money, and my family's always helping me, but I don't feel right.
Right. But Richard says the gift is really the benefit for the children, not hers. To have them participate, it's really not about her.
It sounds like
stay home.
It sounds like she's making this all about money, and forgetting that sometimes it's the small things that you could do to show people that you appreciate them. She talked about how these people, her family has helped her with her kids, and she's not able to help them with their kids or give to their kids. Sometimes offer to take care of the kids, offer to do something. You know what I'm saying? If that would make you feel better and feel like you're doing something. Now, I don't know her, but she could be one of those lazy people who are not doing anything and yet playing the victim. She could be that person. And I don't want to, I'm listening to the story thinking, did she say anything about anything she's done? Did she say anything that she's done that she's tried to help others? Like,
and if they're planning a vacation, she could plan in advance and have the money. Like she could budget for that if they're talking about vacations that have, these large vacations with large families. She could contribute something if that's how she feels about it. Tracy says, do what Voss said and get a second job.
If it's about money, that
Tracy.
Part, but
right.
You can do small things to show people that you appreciate what they're doing.
Right.
Even when you're feeling less than.
You can't contribute financially, but you can contribute other ways.
Yeah.
Sweat equity.
Yeah.
Right.
What is that? I'm sorry.
Sweat equity.
Go ahead.
It's sweat equity. It's when you put in energy and effort into things. If there's a big old planning meeting for the vacation and you can't pay,
or
we'll be there making snacks.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Small things. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
you carry the luggage. That kind of stuff.
The same thing. It's just stay home. First he said stay home. He said if you don't have the finances, stay home.
I mean, I hate to keep quoting songs, but isn't there a song, if you ain't got no money, stay or broke?
I don't know that
song. But I think her family wants her to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's clear. But again, for some reason, the fact that this is just about money, and I think is a little bit more than that. I think it's she's not doing her part. I don't feel like
she may be the topic of conversation, which may be what really concerns her, is that everybody else has made it, everyone else is doing financially, stable, and she isn't. Right. So, she's like the constant, she got them kids, she don't, all the things that could be said about her, or she may just be internalizing what she thinks people are saying about her, which then will make her feel bad about not being able to contribute.
Well,
instead of just accepting the invitation, and because I think if people tired of paying for you, they're just gonna stop paying for you. They don't.
And I don't want to send her to a therapist. I don't want to suggest a therapist because she might waste her money with that. She
doesn't have any.
She don't have any. So I'm like, she could go to, EO if she works. They got an EO. What is it? A place where
EAP.
EAP. Free therapy, but her confidence level and all that is mixed up in there too. So
there's a lot going on
and stuff like that. It's a lot of that going on.
Maybe she should just talk to her family members and say, well, how could I contribute to this? Like, you don't have to buy every pencil and notebook and crayon. I could do some of it. How about if you want to help me, you do this and I'll do the rest, sort of delegate how she wants to get help so she doesn't feel like she's doing nothing. Because quite frankly, if you show up at my house with all the stuff, why would I try to get any of the stuff?
Well, if you talk to them and say, well, look, if you're going to help, these are the things I need. Suddenly you are incorporating them into your financial plan, which is a whole nother situation.
Right. Or you can say, I don't need you to buy all the kids all the presents. If you want to buy one or two, that'd be nice. And then give her the opportunity to do some of that stuff for herself, for her own children.
Well, the producer has an interesting perspective. They said they're helping her because she appreciates it and doesn't feel entitled. And that's the gist of what I got from the question, mainly just because she said she feels bad. Usually, when people are lazy and they feel like their family's supposed to do it, they don't feel bad. They feel like you're my family, you're supposed to do it. She said she was grateful, she was fortunate that they could help her, but like she feels like a charity case. She feels like her family is always helping her. And her family could just feel like, listen, this is memories that we're building. If I have the money, I'd rather look back and say you were there than, oh, well, I said you can't come because you ain't got no money. You and your kids can't be there. They may not even be thinking twice about it. If you don't mind, they probably don't mind because you don't have an attitude of you're supposed to do this for me.
Right.
And it is all about the kids. I forget who said that, but it's about the children. Clearly, the family wants to make sure that the children feel included and the children have the best advantages. So that could be what's driving it. If this has been going on for so long, my question then becomes, well, then what is she doing or not doing to advance her particular situation?
Right.
It's like, teach me to fish as opposed to giving me a fish.
Right. And has she talked to them?
And that's what Tracy said. That's what Tracy said.
Tracy, I see you, girl.
Yeah, come on, Tracy, have a sip. Yeah, I mean, maybe she should let them know how she feels, and it may strike up a conversation between everybody, and they can help her deal with her insecurities and around what she's feeling and going through.
Or maybe they could do kind of like what you were saying, Alba. Maybe they could say, because we're assuming that she doesn't help. So maybe she's really just stuck on the money, and maybe she is the person that cooks. And they could say something like, well, we know you don't have money, but you always cook, or you help us watch our kids, or you went to go visit so-and-so when they were sick, or you know what I'm saying? People think money is just the answer to everything. And it's not always the case.
It's not.
She has to contribute to the fabric of the tapestry of the family. And that is probably what that family finds and holds the most important.
And that's why they insist on her being there. They want her and her children to be there because they want.
I like this family. I want to go with them. Where are they going?
Where are they going?
Live.
We can throw in the pot. They leave no one behind. Everybody goes.
Everybody goes. You get a car. You get a car.
Sharon said, "Go clean the house."
And I was thinking that, maybe that's I'm usually the first person at the party and the last one to leave because that's my contribution. I don't cook. And but I'll wash every glass.
That's what I'm saying.
And vacuum your floor for you, right? So it's whatever you can contribute, you do.
Do it.
I had a friend like that. Their family, they would plan once a year. They would plan a big trip. They would maybe get a big house. This is before Airbnb. This is years ago. So they might rent a big house and have certain family members come, as much as family as could fit in that house. And what they would do, because they knew everyone in the family couldn't afford to vacation like that, they would sell dinners and stuff. The family would come together, cook and sell dinners, so that the people who couldn't afford to go could pay into it and go. That way, by the time the year is up, everybody can come, everybody's making a memory, and it's not about, well, I don't got the money this month to pay on the, everybody just bands together. So
and feels whole. Everyone feels whole in the experience. Yeah.
So
So just talk to them. Go talk to your family members and tell them how you feel, and you can figure out some way that you won't feel bad, but you can still participate in the memories.
And get involved in some affiliate marketing online. TikTok is free. Instagram is free. These programs are free.
Is that her second job?
Well, she might end up making more money than all of them.
Right.
And that's the other thing too. That's a good point, because you never know when situations turn. Some of these family members that's helping you today, they up today. But 10 years from now, you might be the one with all the money.
Right.
And when you're the one with all the money, don't forget, when you may have no money.
See, but again, that's her own insecurities that she's dealing with. That's her own insecurities. It's not about the people who have fixed their lives and did what they needed to do to be where they are. It's about her, and she's not taking care of herself. If that's what bothers her. So
okay. So we ready for question 3?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Dear Alma, I'm a mature wife and mother in her 40s. I'm writing to ask your opinion about my friend. She too is my age and very, very focused on her health, working out and maintaining a non-eating, hours of exercising super body. Yes, She looks like a much younger supermodel, and I'm proud of all that she's doing. She's also married with 2 kids under 10 years old. Her Instagram and Facebook pages are full of pictures of her, mostly scantily clad, full body shots. She has thousands of followers, primarily men. Here's the thing. She never posts anything about her husband or her kids. When I ask her about it, she says she doesn't want her family on social media. I post about my family and kids all the time. I think she's being narcissistic. I also think she just wants attention from men. I'm planning to have a heart-to-heart talk with her about how she's ignoring her family and instead should be proud of them and post them on her pages as well. How can I tell her? And who would be a great role model to suggest in explaining how she should share her family on social media and not just post pics of herself?
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
Hey, we got some Judge Judy's on the show today.
That's that woman's page, okay?
Should, anytime someone uses the word should, need, immediately I'm looking at them like, wait, what? Like, where are you coming from?
Right.
But
you don't know my life.
That is your standard of living everyone's standard.
Right.
You know, if you post pictures of your family and your kids, you know, that's you. That's what you want your timeline to look like. If she wants to show off, she works hard. She wants people to know she look good, and her husband don't mind neither.
Right. And she started off with we're the same age, and she has a model's body. So there's the problem.
Yeah,
right. My friend looks 20 years younger than us, and she is showing pictures of herself, and she don't tell nobody she got a husband and kids. Like, she just wants attention. Yeah,
and thousands of men following her. I was like, and what? It's not your page.
Who are you? Is this the lady who went to the day party? I think so.
Lillian is just uncovering the truth here for us tonight.
Yes.
She changed her clothes and wrote another letter. Right. Mind your business. I'm so sick of people trying to manage other people's social media pages. You know what I'm saying? Leave it alone.
It's not reality anyway. So why are we pretending like whatever we post on social media is real life?
Well, it may not be real life, but it is an indication of what is going on in your life. And if this is what she is doing, then let her. If this is her escape from having to go around and deal with kids and husband, and it is the thing that gets her through, let her have it. Mind your business. Don't follow her if you don't want to see it.
And how do I decide to tell you how you're supposed to live your life?
Girl, I can't even give her any direction on that. I'm like,
it's like
no.
With her kitchen all nappy in the back.
Right. And you sitting there eating Oreos all day, and your girlfriend's at the gym. Okay, so it's not her fault. With 2 kids under 10.
Yes. Yes, in her 40s with 2 kids under 10. She deserves to go to the gym.
And a husband.
And you know, once people get a certain number of followers, they start getting sponsorships and stuff.
Yeah.
That husband might be like, oh, you close to 100,000?
Make that money, girl.
Yes.
He's taking the pictures.
I'm to the gym.
He's taking the pictures.
I'm gonna make your protein shake for you.
Okay.
When you get home, I got the salad for you. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just trying to wrap my mind around, like, how do I decide that I need to concern myself with? Did she say they were friends? Yeah, they're friends, right?
Yeah, they're friends. A long time.
What part of the stage of my life do I start having to worry about how my friends are living? I mean, if she was like, you know, doing lines in the office bathroom or something, that might be something I need to address. But when do we get to this place where now it's my business to tell you how you're supposed to live? When does that happen?
You said so many things that I want to come back to at some point in time.
Right.
But yes, she spent all this time to write a letter about how she should try to fix someone else's life.
Right.
How are you living, my dear?
Bingo.
We know how she's living. She's on the couch.
I said Oreo cookies. Okay, I said.
Well, we're not doing any product endorsements.
Okay.
She
Oh, that's
is-
right. Okay, right.
It's
Right.
very
Okay.
rude
Chocolate
to chef and
sandwich
uses her with
cookies.
moral authority.
Okay.
There-
Apparently,
Chocolate
She refused their
cookies.
moral authority.
Okay. Chocolate something, girl. You're not going to the gym because you're writing letters. Stop
Yeah.
it.
And she probably doesn't want to go to the gym, and I'm not mad at her. Like, I got 2 friends that go 3 days a week. I would drive them there and pick them up. But I don't have any interest in going inside with them.
No.
But I'm also not trying to tell them how they can
Yeah.
show off their hard work.
But you know, a
It
friend,
gets down to this, and I said this earlier. You got to carry your own bliss. If she was happy in her own life, she would not be worried about what this other woman is doing.
Right.
Get a fire stick. Call Alvin. Get a fire stick and solve your problems.
and
Or
I say this a lot. Because I post a lot on Facebook. I post a lot on social media. You guys know that. People can post all day, every day, any time of the day, and people still not know who they
What's
really
going on?
are.
Right.
And that's what her friend needs to come to terms with.
Right.
This woman is happy as a lark in her family, it appears, according to her. But if she chooses to show off her body and have men looking at it and not post pictures of her kids going to school, that's her business.
Right. Well, they tell you all the time not to post pictures of your children and their whereabouts and where they are, because it's so dangerous for people to have access to your children that way. So it's not unreasonable that she doesn't want to post her pictures of her children. It's not unreasonable.
So this woman, in her jealousy, envy, whatever it is willing to go against standards and practices on social media and tell this woman to put her children in harm's way so that she feels better about herself.
Or this is how I'm living my life, and we have these parallel lives. My life looks like this, so yours should look like this too.
The only person,
like my husband would never let me post a picture of me in that dress.
And that's what I was going to say.
Right.
The only person who should have an opinion about this is her husband.
Right.
That's the only person whose opinion matters. If he doesn't care, or if it's not bothering him, because she might be getting them sponsorships, he might like it. He might say something like that. He might say, "Look, you can look, but you can't touch. That's all me. She's coming home to me."
Right.
If that's his attitude and that's how he feels about it, then what do you have to say?
And he's not the one that wrote in.
He is not the one.
He is not the one. He is not. Say it again, please, D.
He is not the one that wrote in. I say it again.
Thank you. Right. So she should really mind her business.
Well, you know, misery loves company. So clearly there's something going on in her life that she's looking across the street thinking that would be not a bad life to have. Maybe she shouldn't behave that way.
Right.
It's back to the clothing. She shouldn't dress like that. She shouldn't talk so loud. She shouldn't, no, that's not. You can accept me as I am or go find new friends.
Or go find your friends.
Shouldn't, what somebody shouldn't do. And I think we have moved into a society where people, because they can say whatever they want freely on social media to you and whatnot, they do use those words. You shouldn't do this, and you better stop doing that, and all that. Those words are they just don't even exist with me, and so.
Well, freely and anonymously, and I think that is where the real problem comes in, because now everybody can say what they want to say, hiding behind a screen. What they call them, a keyboard therapist, like hide behind a screen, telling you how you should live your life.
Right.
And knowing full well that half of them are doing the same things they're telling you shouldn't be doing.
Or worse.
She weren't even telling her to her face. Like, she wrote this letter, but I guarantee she ain't tell the friend, I think you should put some clothes on. I think you shouldn't post pictures of your kids. Should I means you never did. Should I tell my friend? Should I say it to my friend? Means that you haven't had the guts to say it to your friend.
Because the Lord has given her some good sense to keep her mouth quiet and say nothing to her friend and keep her own life moving. Find your bliss. Happy people.
She needs to follow her friend to the gym and stop hating on her.
I would just like to see the look on her friend's face if and when she decides to say something, and the friend gives her that once over from the top of her head down to her shoes and back up and just walk away. Okay, I wouldn't even give you the time of day.
And quite frankly, we've all made assumptions about the friend being maybe out of shape or any of those things, and she very well could be. looking as good at 40, still having a loving husband, still having beautiful children that she likes sharing their lives with. But it's not for her to decide how the other one should do it.
Clearly she don't think she looked that good.
Well, she thinks that she knows how she should live her whole life. So
there are people that do feel like once you get to be a certain age, there's certain things you should put on the shelf. Like you're 40, you shouldn't be dressed like this. You're a mom, you shouldn't be acting like that. You're married,
and that's a choice for me. That is a choice for me. At my age, there are things I won't wear. There are things that I won't do in public. There, depending on who I'm with, but that is for me to decide for myself. I would never turn to one of my friends and say, you can't do this because I don't think that this is appropriate for your age. We have these 60, 70, 80-year-old bodybuilders.
Yeah.
I told you, I'll give them a ride to the gym, but I'm not trying to go in there. But if that's what they want to do, more power to them.
Well, it seems like we have made a love connection on this show. Because there's the woman from this particular question and the woman who doesn't like the twerk and hookah woman. We should get them together because they're really good friends. So let's rejoice in that.
And they can go to church together with their families.
One has to belong to a church, though.
Well, it doesn't. I think that one could leap over and love someone who did not go to church, just on the the circumstances that she would not support her friend going and taking pictures and doing the internet. I think we've made a love connection.
Yeah, they have the hate in common. They can hate.
Oh, the hate.
They can hate on people.
The hate in common.
Oh, the hate in common.
When we finish with this question, I saw a news story last night that would be the perfect question for us. So when we finish with this, I want to ask about the story that I saw.
Okay, well, we got a few more minutes, so you go ahead.
There was a story on because a couple, a husband and a wife, were traveling to see the husband's daughter, and the wife decided, although she knew she didn't have time, it was 15 minutes before boarding, she went across the airport to get Starbucks. And the plane was boarding, and she didn't get back in time, so the husband went on and got on the plane and flew to see his daughter. And everyone was asking, well, should he have left his wife? Or everyone was all outraged. And I was like, that seems like a no-brainer to me, but just going to throw it out there.
She made choices.
Yes.
She probably does that kind of stuff all the time.
Yes.
And he probably was like, you know what? Do you want to stop at Starbucks? All the way to I bet you, he asked if she wanted to stop at Starbucks on the way to the airport. Or if they were running late. And she was like, well, I need to go to Starbucks. And he was like, no, we're going to miss the plane to see my daughter because you're always late. So he probably, that's seeing his daughter. Yes. Yeah.
I would have left. That's all.
I thought that was going to be a consensus among this group, but there was a lot of discussion about it, whether he shouldn't have left her. And, I was like, she knew the flight was going to leave.
See, that's probably why I'm not married.
Because you would have left. You're like, deuces.
Yeah. I mean, it would. If she thought that he should not have taken the flight because she was getting Starbucks and was late, she hasn't.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I'm sure
if you know, if you have 15, if you've ever flown before, you know the plane is going to leave as close to on time as possible. So for you to decide 15 minutes before, let me run over here and get coffee, where she could have had a cup of coffee on the flight and got Starbucks wherever they were. They're all over the country.
Or not gotten coffee and just fallen asleep because it doesn't seem like I'd want to hang out with her anyway.
You would be alive.
She could have stayed home. Really, she could have stayed home and had all the Starbucks she wanted. Let him go see his daughter and have a good time because that's what it sounds like. He didn't want to go.
But Lillian said she didn't really want to go, right?
Yeah, she didn't want to go.
And now she didn't. So all you social media people, leave that man alone, okay? Because she probably didn't want to go anyway.
She didn't. She got what she wanted, and so did he, and so did the daughter, because the daughter didn't want to see her no way.
Wow. Where did time go? Oh my God.
Yes, it's already been an hour.
I know, right?
Fun time. I knew we would have a fun time though, because we always do backstage. So
always
came together. Sean said it takes 15 minutes to get to the Starbucks counter. It takes 15 minutes to order all that stuff. People are there like, can I get a mocha, grande, frappe, whipped cream,
Can
almond
I
milk?
get a Folgers? That's what I want. I want it easy.
That's hilarious.
It's too much. It gets too complicated.
Well, I'm a traveling snob. So if you're traveling with me and you say you're going to go somewhere in 15 minutes and the flight's going to leave in 15 minutes and you're going to leave, I got issues. I already got issues
That
because
gives
one,
me
I'm not
anxiety.
running
It
to a
does.
gate if I don't have to, and I'm not going to miss a flight. I'm not going to do, especially if I'm
I don't
sitting
mind
there.
being a half hour, 45 minutes at the gate before the flight even starts boarding. I cannot stand to rush
Mm-mm.
and be all flustered trying to get somewhere. And if you're with me, you need to be prepared to be early too.
Bingo.
Yes.
Bingo.
Yes. Or you're going to get left.
Right.
Like he left his wife, I'm going to leave you. I'm not.
Right.
And if
You
I
have an
bought,
arrangement with the plane and your destination, not the people you were traveling with.
and if I bought the ticket, okay, wait, I'm gone. What is
I'm
it?
going.
Miss Sharon, can I just let Miss Sharon know that
Yes.
Miss Sharon, we will be back live on October 6th.
Okay.
We are on hiatus, a much needed hiatus, but we are coming back to you. I mean, as fresh as a daisy. Okay,
That's right.
so thank you for asking, Miss Sharon, and for your support. Appreciate you.
Okay. So
Thank you, Sean. You have a great night as well.
Yes, I do want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank you guys, Alvin, Bosch. Thank you so much. Please catch He Said on Friday nights. I mean, the show's still on. You know what I'm saying? So you guys can still log on to see the show. It's just a little bit of a rerun. That's all.
You won't see Alvin, Vosh, and Bobby live until
But you'll still see
October
them.
6th. It is
October 6th.
October
Yes.
6th.
But we are playing rebroadcasts and
Right.
encore presentations of shows that we really love, that we think that you're going to love seeing again. Because watching us live is one thing, but so much happens, and you get so much by watching our shows the second time. It really does make
It's like a
difference.
movie. You watch it, you
Right.
always see something, hear something
Always.
you didn't hear or see before.
It's the greatest hit, y'all.
And someone told me last week, we ran a show, and someone says, I thought you weren't going to be live. I said, we were not. He said, that show looked like you all were live like tonight. So, you know, but please tune in. Thank you, Vaj, for that. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I really enjoyed it. Next
Good
week,
night.
Miss Alma will be back, y'all. She's back from vacation, and like Alma said, fresh as a daisy. She's gonna have a great show for y'all. I enjoyed guest hosting these last couple of weeks. If you guys have questions, please send them to alwaysask@gmail.com, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Bye, Dee.
Bye, Dee. Bye, Courtney. Bye, Alvin.
Bye, Vaj.